Good morning, my dear students of class 11. Today we will complete the chapter Animal Kingdom. And today's topic is class Aves and class Mammalia. So first we will start with the class Aves. And in my previous classes we have read about the class Amphibia and class Reptilia. So what are the features or characteristic features of class Aves? So under that class Aves mainly birds come. Okay, and the study of birds is called as ornithology. Study of birds is called as ornithology. And what are the main features of this class Aves? That is, their body is covered with feathers. That means presence of feather is the main criteria of class Aves. So first one is presence of feathers. They are having feathers and they can be divided into two, that some birds can fly and some birds cannot fly. Those who cannot fly are called as flightless bird. Those who cannot fly are called flightless bird, and it is the under the order of Ratiti. Okay, so it is having two orders, that is Ratiti and Cariniti. Ratiti is those who are flightless bird, and those who can fly, they are called as Cariniti. Okay, so the birds can fly or cannot fly. They run very fast, those who can't fly. Okay, so what is the example of flightless bird? And those who cannot fly are called flightless bird. Example of flightless bird is ostrich. An example of birds which can fly, pigeon. There are so many examples of birds which can fly. Okay, so that is the main two types of under class Aves. What is the next property? Next property is that their four limbs are modified into wings. So four limbs are modified into wings. Four limbs are modified into wings. Okay, as they are under tetrapoda, they are having four limbs. Under that four limbs, two are four limbs and another two are hind limbs, and their four limbs are modified into wings. And what is the function of wings? Wings help them to fly. Wings help them to fly. And the hind limbs are generally having scales are modified for walking, swimming or clasping or climbing on the tree branches. Okay, so hind limbs are, as it is modified for walking, swimming, clasping on the tree branches, etc. Okay, so these are about the two limbs in case of Aves. And their body is usually divided into four parts: head, neck, trunk and tail. And their skin is usually dry and devoid of glands. Their skin is usually dry and devoid of glands. Usually they are devoid of glands, that means glands are absent, but only one gland is present, which is called as uropygial gland or oil gland, or it is known as spleen gland. It is present at the base of the tail. Okay, usually every class Aves is not having glands, but one gland that is called as uropygial gland, which is present at the base of their tail, and it helps in their nourishment of the body. Okay, and it is also called as spleen gland or oil gland. That means it secretes some sort of oils. Okay, so these are the some properties. And what the next? I am having that part. And their endoskeleton is fully bony. and long bones are hollow with air cavities, or it is called as pneumatic bones. Okay, what type of bones? And pneumatic spelling starts with P. Pneumatic bones or pneumatic air cavities are present. Usually their endoskeleton is bony. Okay, I am repeating. Usually they are having bony endoskeleton and long bones are hollow and with air cavities, which is called as pneumatic. Okay, and the digestive tract of birds have some additional chambers. Digestive tract of birds have some additional chambers, which is called as crop and gizzard. Okay, which is helping in storing and grinding of the food. So these are the parts of digestive tract. So under that class Aves, in the digestive tract of class Aves, they are having some additional parts which are crop and gizzard, and usually these are the some parts for storing and grinding or of the food. Okay, and their heart is usually their heart is usually 4 chambered. So they are having 4 chambered heart. Okay, so 2 auricles and 2 ventricles are present inside their heart. So their heart is 4 chambered, and they are usually warm blooded animals. Warm blooded. Those who are warm blooded, they are called as homeotherms. Homeotherms. Okay, so on class Aves, under the class Aves, birds are having usually homeotherms. That means they are warm blooded. Okay, and that means homeotherms means they are able to maintain a constant internal body temperature. They are able to maintain a constant internal body temperature, and that is also known as homeotherms. Okay, and respiration is pneumatic bones. And respiration, as they are living on the land, so their respiration is lungs. Respiration is taking place by lungs. Okay, they are using lungs for the respiration. And some air sacs are connected. Some air sacs are connected with the lungs. Some air sacs are connected with the lungs, which is supplement for respiration. And also it is as they will fly. Okay, so their body will be quite light-weighted, else they will not be able to fly. That's why they have modified their body like that. That means they are having hollow pneumatic bones, they are having some air cavities inside the lungs, they are having some flight muscles which are helping them fly. These are the some criteria they are having which are helping them fly easily. Okay, and they are having, their sexes are separated, so they are having separate sex. They are having, that means male and female will be different, and fertilization is internal. So fertilization is internal. Okay, that means fertilization will fusion of male and female gamete will be inside the body, and their development is oviparous type. That means they will lay eggs. Oviparous means they will lay eggs, and development is usually direct, and their development is direct, and some parental care is well developed in case of Aves. Some parental care, that means parents will take care of their child. Okay, so that is called as parental care. And excretion, for excretion they are having kidneys. Okay, but urinary bladder is absent, and they are usually excreting uric acid. That's why they are called as uricotelic. So now these are the some characteristics of class Aves. So what will be the examples of class? As you know that crow, corvus, columba, pigeon, parrot, there are peacock. There are so many examples are present under the Aves. So with that we have completed that class Aves. Next class is class Mammalia. next class is class Mammalia. This first we will see the habitat of this class. Okay, the class Mammalia can be having a variety of habitats. It is found almost everywhere. Mammals are found almost everywhere, like in the polar region, in the desert region, in the hilly region, and on the land, almost plain land, it will be found very easily. Mountains, desert, grassland, dark caves. Okay, so it is having variety of habitats. Okay, so I am repeating, class under that class Mammalia, they are having variety of habitats like mountain, desert, polar ice caps, grassland. Okay, dark caves, like that, everywhere we will find mammals everywhere. And mammals are having, and some mammals are adapted to fly, some mammals are adapted to live in water. Okay, I am repeating, some mammals are also adapted to fly and some mammals are also adapted to live in the water. Now we will see the most unique characteristic features of mammals. Most unique characteristic features. So what are they? Presence of mammary gland. Presence of mammary gland. So, what is the function of mammary gland? From the mammary gland, milk will be produced, which will be needed for nurturing the young ones or their babies. Okay, so the characteristic features or unique characteristic feature of mammalia is presence of mammary gland, and which is milk producing gland. Mammary gland is milk producing gland, and that with the help of that milk they will nurture their young ones. Okay, and they are having usually two pairs of limbs for walking, or those who can run for running, burrowing, swimming, flying, climbing. Okay, so they are using their limbs for so many purposes. I am repeating, with the help of that limbs they are using. That means they are having usually two pairs of limbs for walking, running, climbing, perching, burrowing, swimming, flying, etc. Okay, and some glandular type of skin is present, and another property is hair on the skin. Hair on the skin. Body is covered with the hairs. In case of mammals, body is covered with the hair. So, we can say that hair is present on the skin, and that is another property of mammalia. Okay, and they can, under the skin, they can store the fat. Okay, and which is helping them to conserve the body heat. And they are having, their skin is some glandular. That means some glands are present. So what are these glands? Sweat glands, sebaceous glands, oil glands. Okay, these are the some glands which are present on the skin of the mammalia. Okay. So what is the next property? And their skin is impervious to water, because it is provided with this type of glands, sweat glands, sebaceous glands. Okay, and they are having external air. Okay, these are the, so these first unique feature of mammalia is presence of mammary gland, and second unique feature is presence of hair on the skin, and they are having an external ear or pinna. External okay, so this is external ear or pinna present. That is another unique feature in case of mammals. That means they are having that external ear or pinna in case of mammals. So these three are the main unique features in case of mammalia. First one is presence of milk producing mammary gland. Second one is body is covered with hairs or hairs on the skin, and third one is presence of external ear or pinna. Okay, and in case of mammalia, they are having different types of teeth on jaws. They are having different type of teeth on jaws. And when we will read the digestion, we will read about the in human what are the different type of teeth are present. And their heart is 4 chambered. Heart is 4 chamber, that means 2 auricles and 2 ventricles are present. Okay, that's why they are oxygenated and deoxygenated blood will not be mixed. Their oxygenated and deoxygenated blood is separated with the help of these 4 chambers, 2 auricles and 2 ventricles. Okay, and it is a well developed structure of heart, and they are homeotherms. That means they can maintain an internal constant body temperature. They can maintain internal constant body temperature. That's why they are called as homeothermal. And their respiration is by lungs. And as we know that we are bisexual, that means our sexes are separate. That means sexes are separate in case of mammals. That means male and female body will be different, and their development is always direct, and usually they are viviparous. That means usually mammals give birth to their young ones. Mammals give birth to their young ones, and their development is usually direct. Okay, so these are the some characteristic features of mammalia. And if we different mammalia, we can get some divisions like mammalia can be differentiated into prototheria and theria. What are they? Mammalia can be differentiated into prototheria and theria. And under that prototheria, that dark bill platypus will come, and under that prototheria they are again divided into 2, that are metatheria and eutheria. Under that metatheria, that marsupial, that means kangaroo will come, and eutheria, that actual true placental mammals will come. Okay, so it is another property of mammals, that means presence of placenta. And what are the differences between these 3 prototheria, eutheria and metatheria? I am writing the names. Okay, so these 3 subclasses, and these are the subclasses. Class under that class mammalia, we are considering 3 subclasses: prototheria, metatheria and eutheria. And usually metatherians are the oviparous. Sorry, prototherians. Proto means primitive, they came first. Okay, after that metatheria came, and after that advanced that eutherians came. So first prototherians are oviparous, metatherians are usually give birth to but immature young ones. They are giving birth to immature young ones, and eutherians are giving birth to fully developed young ones. So that is one difference. And their next difference is their external ear or pinna is absent, but in case of them pinna is present, and in case of them pinna is present. So they are oviparous, they are giving birth immature young ones, and they are giving birth to mature ones. And if I consider that pinna, so it is absent, it is present, and it is present in both metatheria and eutheria. And if that means mammary gland is present in all of them, but in case of prototheria, teats or nipples are absent. But in case of metatheria, teats, they are having teats, but in case of Eutheria, they are also having teeth. And another property in case of Metatheria, they are having some marsupial pouch. Okay, that means a marsupial pouch which is developed in case of Metatheria. Why? Because they are giving to immature young ones. So their young one will have to develop outside the body. So they are having that type of marsupial pouch, and within the pouch the development of baby occurs, and which is not present in case of Prototheria and Eutheria. These are the some differences among Prototheria, Metatheria and Eutheria. These are the subclasses of class Mammalia. So with that we have completed that chapter Animal Kingdom. Hope you are not having any problem in this chapter. If you are having any problem, you can let me know through your e-portal. Okay. So in our next class we will start another chapter. Okay. So thank you.